Good afternoon, it's Jeremy. It's Monday, April the 8th. And this afternoon I'm going to look at HF propagation on 10, 15, and 20 megahertz using WWV. And we're going to see how it's affected during the eclipse. So right now it's about 2:15 local time. So I'm going to take some readings, and then when the eclipse happens, it's going to be maximum around 3:20 local time. So we'll take some readings then, and we'll take some readings after. So I'm just looking at the HF buddy pole I'm using outside. It's just a temporary mount. It's got an RT-59 or 58 cable, and we'll go inside. And there's the setup I'm using. I'm using the RTL-SDR with a hammered-up converter. And there's my RG58 coming in, and there's the RTL-SDR. And right now I'm using SDR Sharp to monitor the signal.
Right now it's 2:18. And we're just looking at WWV at 10 megahertz. A lot of fading, a lot of QSB. So it looks like it peaks about 15 to 20 B above the noise, and then it goes down to zero. So a fair amount of fading. There's 15 megahertz, much better signal. Peaks around -40, noise around -70, so good 20 to 30 dB, so it's a very strong signal. There's 20 megahertz, peaking around -50, noise around -80, so another good strong signal. So that's at about 2:18 to 2:19 p.m. local time. So we'll come back at the peak of the eclipse, which will be 3:19 local time, and we'll measure some values.
Okay, so now it's at the peak. It's just 3:20, like 1 minute after the peak, and you can see it's very dark outside. And it happened like within like 1 or 2 minutes. It got really dark. So we'll go over to Camtasia and we'll look at the signal strengths at 15, 20, and 10 megahertz.
Okay, so it's got pretty dark outside. It's now almost the peak of the eclipse. It's 3:18 p.m. The peak is around 3:19. So at 10 megahertz here, our signal is stronger than it was, let's say, at 3 o'clock. It still has QSB, some fading on it, but it's a little bit stronger. Let's go to 15 megs. There's 15 megs. Signal is fairly strong. A bit of flutter, not too much QSB. Let's go to 20 megs. There's 20 megs. Really strong signal. So now we're at 3:19. That's the peak. So we'll come back at, let's say, around 4. See what's happening. So it's 3:30, it's about 10 minutes after the peak of the eclipse. It's fully light outside, and we're looking at 10 megs again. So signals a bit of fading as before, and not quite as strong as it was at the peak of the eclipse. I think it's a little bit weaker. Let's go to 15 megs. Fairly strong. Bit of flutter on there. And let's go to 20 megs. There's 20 megs. Not too much fading, fairly strong signal. So there we go. There's a quick look then at propagation before, during, and after the eclipse. It seems to me as a conclusion that it was slightly stronger by 5 to 10 dB at the peak of the eclipse.